Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1403. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Hobby Evolution. It is Top Series 1 week. We're going to touch on tops. We're going to touch on trends in the hobby, both on YouTube and just generally speaking in the hobby. Thanks to Victor, the rookie card specialist, for inspiring today's topic from a recent video. That link is in the description to my video here. What else? There was one other thing. You know, I actually woke up prepared to talk about something this morning, and of course there are two things. Obviously the topic, and then there was something else that I forget. So that's why I need to take notes more often. It probably ties in with tops. We'll touch on eBay like we do every day. What else is going on? That's about it. But hey, you may see I've never worn this shirt in the 1,403 episodes of Hobby Evolution. This little jumpsuit top has never made an appearance, and John Keating, of course, with a little quip. So this top, I have not fit into this in 8 years or more, maybe. What, 8 years is how many years ago? Oh, it's probably been more than 8 years since I've been able to fit in this. So this is actually from 2011 or 2012, although it does have like a 90s look. It's probably like a throwback look in 2011. But that was one of the perks. Now, when you work somewhere like Western Illinois in the athletics department, you don't make money. You don't make very much money. It's kind of like working in small market radio. It was like a lateral move, except I got to travel. Instead of traveling to Bushnell, Illinois, and Knoxville, Illinois, and Anawan, Illinois, I got to travel to Vermilion, South Dakota, and Logan, Utah, and Montgomery, Alabama. So I've got a lot of my old Western Illinois swag. That was a perk. They didn't pay you money. They paid you in 1993 jumpsuits. Although I think this was brand new in like 2011. I think this was the design they came out with in the 2011-2012 season. So I don't know what brought on me trying this top. I was actually gonna wear it to the Madison Card Show. Thank God I did, because it's warm. It doesn't look warm, but it's like one of the warmest tops I have. It's very thick. It's probably like polyester or something. I don't know. So I put this on and I like ran upstairs and I'm like, oh shit, this top is hot. I am not wearing this to any card show. Because most card shows are warm, whether it's January or July. But I was excited because it fit. I haven't been able to wear this in 10 years. I did jump on the scale this morning. I haven't really talked about my health journey. It's not really a weight loss journey anymore. I'd like to lose a few more pounds, but it's January. It's February now. Shit, it's halfway through February now. And so it's kind of like I'm slipping, but I jumped on the scale this morning. The lowest weight I was at. Now I started at like 220. So last May when I went to the doctor and he's like, your blood pressure's too high, blah, blah, blah. And I knew my diet was mostly to blame. Now it is genetic. I could eat the best heart diet my body could sustain, and I would still have borderline too high blood pressure, and even on meds. So that's just the way it is. I have to deal with it and try to get it down as much as possible. So I knew that I needed to, it was pretty unhealthy. So 220 is where I started back in May, and the lowest weight probably in like November before Thanksgiving was 195. That's the lowest I got down to. I haven't been stepping on the scale because I've been slipping in my diet. I haven't been as what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Disciplined with my diet since the holidays, and that's on me. That's not the holidays' fault. It's me and in my discipline. So I did step on the scale this morning, and 199. So I've only put back on 4 pounds, which as long as I'm under my initial goal was 200. Like I want to be sub 200. Like 199.9 would have been enough back in May, June. And then it's like, okay, I'm at, I got down to 195. It's like, if I can get to 190, and I've got an old Cubs jersey, like a minor league jersey, it's a Peoria Chiefs jersey that I really want to fit into, but I'm right, even at 195, it's just right there. So I was hoping to get to by spring training. I was hoping to get into that. If I really buckle down, and maybe I should just talk it out. Maybe, and I think that's what helped me, when I was doing better than what I'm currently doing. It's not like I'm eating pizza every day, but I certainly have slipped. So maybe if I just talk it out every morning, I'll do better. And maybe I can drop a few pounds, maybe get into that Peoria Chiefs jersey by March 4th. We'll see. I might get into it on March 4th, but my March 6th, I don't think it'll fit with all the beer and crap I'll be eating in 8 days at spring training. I'm training for spring training. So here we go. So I think I was sporting another Western Illinois top that hadn't fit me in several years last week. I forgot I had all this leatherneck gear that, I haven't been able to fit into in almost 10 years. So here we are. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Speaking of Tuesday, we used to do a little thing called eBay Auctions Live on Tuesday. That's taking a hiatus for one more week, but I'll be back next Tuesday night for a live stream. At 99centcards.com is where you can find my eBay store. Buy 7 or more items at regular price, you'll save 25% off at checkout. I've got auctions running. There's only about a dozen auctions ending tonight. Man, there's been now some of the stuff that I'm putting at auction. A lot of it's not selling at 99 cents, which I'm surprised. So it's almost like maybe I should take a hiatus from auctions, but we're gonna put some stuff at auction for Tuesday night. I also haven't been promoting my auctions very much. I haven't been highlighting much. So, I'll take most of the blame on that. But, I used to say auctions suck. They still suck. You got to do it the right way. And I haven't been doing it the right way. So I'm going to throw some auctions online. Some new stuff, not stale inventory. That's a lot of what I've been listing at auction, stale inventory, but who knows? But I've got some bulk that I'm going to be putting at auction, which normally I'd be like, F it. But this is bulk that if it sells for $10, I want to get more $10. And I'll probably if it sells for $10, I'll be disappointed. But we're just going to cross our fingers and put these bulk lots up for auction. There's going to be a junk wax packs auction. Surprising, I didn't sell many junk wax packs at the show on Sunday. It's hit or miss. Sometimes people will just go crazy over the junk wax packs. And then the next show, nobody buys any. I think I sold 8 packs. I had those repacks, and I thought those would be a big hit. I did not. The baseball repack that I opened was the only baseball repack in that entire box. There's like 65 repacks. It's mostly Pokemon. And there are maybe a dozen Wisconsin Badgers. I'm probably not going to put the Badgers. I'll probably just keep those. And I had these marked at $1. Now, you saw what was in the baseball, probably all junk, but I figure, hey, if marked at $1, if I think the Pokemon and the Badgers had 10 cards. So it's a dime a card. And it's, especially with I didn't sell a single Badgers repack. I did sell 5 of the Pokemon. And I assume they're like probably fraction of a penny Pokemon cards. I think they put a holo on the back. I'm sure it's a 25-cent holo, if that. But I did sell 5. So the rest of those, I'm going to bundle up in an auction tonight. I've got a non-sport. I had a bunch of I've got a shelf in my shipping room that when I was doing live streams selling on YouTube, I was gathering stuff for another live stream, and I just never got around to doing another sale. So I've got some stuff. I had a bunch of non-sport that I was just kind of piling up to do. So I'm going to put all that together. I'm going to do, I'm going to find a box and not do a flat rate. And I'm just going to see what the shipping rate is. Flat rates are, it's going to, $17 is my flat rate shipping because it's like $16. So I'm going to see what the ground advantage, the highest to, find a California zip code because that's the highest shipping rate for me. And see if I can get everything in a regular box that I have lying around. So I'm going to try to get that done today. And I'll do a non-sport, probably at least 1,000 non-sport cards in a bulk lot, the repacks in junk packs, and then some serial number singles. That'll probably be like 99-cent singles. But with the latest Goodwill palette, with all of my pickups from the show on Sunday, and then now tomorrow I've got Series 1 being delivered. I am now back inventory overload. So there we go. My speaking of Topps, my case was picked up yesterday morning out of Sunnyvale, Texas. It is en route with scheduled delivery for tomorrow. So Topps Series 1, the numerical checklist has been updated. It is now on the Topps website. I did reach out to Car Dealer Pro because it's not, showing up, and I didn't expect it to because the numerical checklist wasn't even uploaded until at least I saw it on yesterday morning. So I did reach out to Car Dealer Pro and I said, hey, is there any chance we can get a fast track on the checklist, just to save us some time? And as expected, there's more to it than, well, the checklist is out. It doesn't just magically appear on Car Dealer Pro. So there is some formatting issues that, the way they get the checklist has to be formatted, and it's got to be a certain way. So, and it's obviously not in that certain way since it was just released. So it may be a couple days. Maybe there's a chance it's up by tomorrow. I am under the belief that it will not be ready. So I am taking a proper precaution, and I am uploading a spreadsheet already. And here's what I mean. I've got the Car Dealer Pro temp. I just used my last upload. This is what I'm doing. I used my last Car Dealer Pro upload, and I just put in 2025 Topps, filled out everything I need to fill out, copy and paste, generic. And then I've got the Topps checklist numerically. So I'm on the base right now. I'm about halfway through, and I'm hand typing everything in. Once tomorrow, I'll get my stuff. I'll be sorting as I'm ripping and sorting. I'll get my base up first, just because that'll be 1,000 plus cards, and then I'll work on hits, inserts, and all that. So I'm kind of doing it backwards from what I normally do, but in years past, I've had to hand type everything. So I want to get the highest dollar stuff up first. Now, in this scenario, I don't need to hand type everything because I'm hand type. I have the time right now. Well, I don't really have the time, but I'm making the time right now to type everything out freehand. Because I don't want to do that after the fact. Once I get everything sorted and then I'm typing, I want to use that time. Like, I just want to boom, upload. So I'm typing everything out. I'll have the base checklist hopefully done by tonight. And then I'll work on, the basic inserts. And then obviously I don't know what hits I'm going to get. So, those will wait, but at least I'll have the base and I can get those uploaded, get those sorted, uploaded, boom. And hopefully by mid-afternoon, I'll have all of that in my eBay store, 99centcards.com. So excited for Top Series 1. Peep says my thoughts on 2025 design. Talked about that when I think when we first saw it, but I like it. And I had this conversation on Sunday at the card show. And, I think the reason I like it is because it's so much different than last year. We've got white borders this year. It was black last year. Easy to differentiate, and I think that's why, at least in my mind, I liked the 60s and the 70s and the 80s designs because I could differentiate between the two. I knew the difference between 74 and 75. It was so much different. The difference between 85 and 86, so much different. There were some years where like 83 and 84, pretty easy to differentiate, circle and square. We got into the 90s and there were some 90s sets where the design kind of looked really similar to the year before. 92, 93, pretty similar. 98, 99, identical in my eyes. So I like the fact that it's much different than last year's design. There's not going to be a question between, is this 2024 or 2025? I like the design. The thing is, even when I don't like a design, as soon as I open that first pack, it's like, oh, this design actually looks better than I thought. And maybe that's because it's the excitement. Baseball is around the corner. I'm excited. So that could be why. So I like it. I like the design. Let's go to the chat. Todd's here. What's up, Todd? Good morning. Kyle is here. Good morning. Philly Joe's in the house. Good morning. John says 1993 called. They want that jacket back. Red lights in the house. Gem City Card Show. He says, go Leathernecks. Yeah. And they are the drizzling shits this year. They are not playing well. And I haven't watched too many games. It's just, this is kind of, last year I think was an atypical year for me. I was really watching a lot, especially I was watching a lot of the Western games. This year I was for the first month, and then I just lost interest. And it wasn't because they were playing poor. I don't watch Badger games either, and they're good. So just college basketball in general, I have not been paying attention to college basketball. So, but it's around this time of year that I will kick back in, and I'll be a huge college basketball fan as we get close to the conference tournaments, which I don't even know. Western's been so bad, I don't even know if they'll qualify for their conference tournament. And I like that. I like that you have to qualify in some conferences, because that does give teams incentive. It's not like you just, we can walk through the season and go 0-16 in the conference, and then we're going to go to the conference tournament and we can make a run and go to the NCAA tournament with a below 500 record. But I don't like it when my team sucks and doesn't qualify. So let's go to OVC, Ohio Valley. So only one game tonight. SEMO against Little Rock. SEMO, that's Porter's neck of the woods. Let's take a look at the standings. They're in the bottom. So they will this late in the game, Western Illinois, and I think that it's an 11-team conference. I think only 8 get in. UT Martin and Lindenwood are at the bottom of the getting in. If it is the 8 teams, it's 6 and 8. Leathernecks 2 and 12 in the Ohio Valley, 8 and 17 overall. So, So let's take a look at the top 25. Are there any games? This is conference. I want scores. Top 25. So I probably won't watch any more Western games with them. So, hey, there's some good games on tonight. Number 5, Tennessee against number 15, Kentucky. Number 7, Purdue against number 20, Michigan. Number 3, Florida against number 22, Mississippi State. So there's some good games on tonight. Auburn's in action. They're number 1. So I probably won't watch any. Where are we at? Red light. Good morning. Go Leathernecks. L1C in the house. What's happening? Did you dye your eyebrows purple? It kind of does. No, I did not. Something looks very strange. 1993, more like 1983. Art Green says, do you have matching track pants? I do, and they're purple. I do, in fact, have the matching pants. Zubaz must be at the dry cleaners. Yeah, I don't think I ever owned, and I was a kid during the Zubaz craze, and I don't think I ever had, I probably did, but I don't remember ever wearing Zubaz. I was never a sweatpants kid. I don't think I ever owned Zubaz. I was not a Zubaz. I was not a sweatpants. I was a windbreaker, like this stuff. Like I would have wore a lot of this. I wore basketball shorts, but never sweatpants or Zubaz. Good morning, TD Sports Cards. John says, looks like you went to John Daly's garage sale. David, good morning. John says, congrats on the self-discipline. L1C says, nice work. Weight loss is tough. Temptation is real. It is. And you know, the thing is, it's almost like muscle memory, because once I start eating healthy, it's like the only thing. But once I like take a day, and this is why I don't believe in cheat days, and everybody's mind is different, and we all are, have different self-discipline. But in my mind, once I start eating healthy, it's just the way it is. It's like I have no reason to go to Burger King or McDonald's. Like I just don't want fast food. I don't want frozen pizza. I don't want junk. But like, I'm going to have a cheat day, and I hate cheat days. That's why I don't believe in them. It's Friday. I don't want to make something at home. I'm just going to run out to McDonald's. And then it's like, well, I had McDonald's for lunch. I might as well put in a frozen pizza for dinner. And then the next day it's like, well, I cheated yesterday. Might as well cheat again today. So when I stick to healthy eating, I stick to it. Unfortunately, when I start eating unhealthy, I stick to unhealthy eating. John says, Rick Russell never stressed about fitting into a jersey. He just popped them buttons. Go next. Orlando. What's up, Orlando? His Hall of Fame induction speech now online. I've not watched. I saw the thumbnail. Got to tune in today. Merle says, my computer is very slow this morning. Art beat me to it. We all want to know if you're wearing the matching track pants. I'm not this morning, but I do have them. Red Light says, find a box for those bitters I asked you about. Oh, I've got to go back to them. I forgot what you even asked me about. Philly Joe says, for Topps SI, would you do team base lots? No. The way I do, and I've had people ask me this before, I am ripping and sorting so fast to get everything to market. I don't take the time to look at checklists or anything. So I just, boom, put everything up in my eBay store. So, I'm trying to think, if you put in an offer on everything, I could do, eBay allows 99-cent offers. Maybe down the road, after the first on the market craze is over in a couple weeks, we can talk about it. But at release, the way I sort and list, I just don't have the time to do team lots. 727 Tiger 727 says, hello all. Hope everyone is doing well. Pitchers and catchers report this week. Also looking forward to the Daytona 500. Daytona 500. Wow. And that's kind of like the beginning of spring in my eyes. Like the Daytona 500 means spring is around the corner. Pitchers and catchers have reported spring is in the air, baby. And we've got a snowstorm coming in. Kyle has Daytona 500 has Kyle way more excited than the Super Bowl. Peeps is in the house. Good morning. Sal Dougie, what's going on? Good morning. Dan wants to know, speaking of spring, when is my spring training trip? I leave March 4th. So how many days is that? So 28 minus 11, 18, 17. So 3 weeks. 3 weeks from today. I leave on a Tuesday. So 3 weeks from today at this time, I'll be in an airplane somewhere over Kansas. So I'll be waving at Cooter. He's in Oklahoma. Maybe I'm over Oklahoma. So yeah, March 4th. I'm really gearing up for spring training, and I think I'm more prepared, at least at this point in the game. I'm more prepared than I have been the last few years, especially with my custom cards of minor league guys for autographs. I've got all those stacks behind me on the counter back there. Those are all Cubs cards for kids and some for autographs as well. It's just that's my spring training Cubs piles. I've been toying around with Brian. Gem City Card Show may have an answer for this. Anybody else? And I don't think I've tried Chat GPT, but I've been trying to create a logo, Cubs for Kids, with 99centcards.com also in the logo. I've been using Grok, and I don't know am I able to see and I'll just show you. So here's what I've been doing. Well, let's share the screen. So I'm trying to create a logo because I want to create a business card to put in my Cubs pack. So basically what I do for spring training, I put together packs of 10 current Cubs in team bags, with my either in the past, it's been my 1 million Cubs card, but now I want to create an actual Cubs for Kids with my eBay store. So, hey, here's a cool, it's almost like it's a starter pack. It's a free sample, and then drive people to my eBay store. Hey, let's see if he has any more Cubs cards for sale. Go to my eBay store. I now sell Cubs. In the past, I haven't sold Cubs cards, but now I am. So, and by the way, you see my today's thumbnail I created with Grok this morning. So Grok is, I've saved a few, but none have really been what I like. And Grok tends to, and I think a lot of AI is like this, where it's especially with spelling, it doesn't spell things correct, which is really weird to me. But anyway, create a red, white, and blue Cubs colors, baseball themed logo that says Cubs for Kids with 99centcards.com at the bottom. So we're going to create that on Grok, which is the AI on Twitter. I'm not going to call it X, just like I'm not going to call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. It's always going to be the Sears Tower. It's always going to be Twitter. It's always going to be the Gulf of Mexico. So this is the crap I get. And actually, these are probably the best logos that have been created so far. I actually like these. I like this, but I don't like that is ruined because it looks like crap. But I really like this, and it doesn't use like the actual Cubs logo, which I really don't care, but I don't want to get in trouble. This is okay, but these are probably the best that I've seen. And then so I was playing around. I was laying in bed last night, and I'm gonna save these or I gotta download these. So download that one, and I like that one. That's the thing. The ones I like the best have like shit like this just in there, and it's like, how do I fix that? So, and then you can click on with a vintage feel, and we'll see what Grok comes up with creating a logo. I already don't like these because they have like books in the background. Oh, it's Hobby Trends. Actually, hey, these are pretty cool. I really like that. Damn, these are a lot better logos than the one I came up with. I'm gonna download that. That's a pretty cool one. All right, hobby trends. All right. So that's what I'm working with. So if anybody has a better AI usage than Grok, I haven't tried Chat GPT yet, but I'll play around with that. John says Kid Rock not taking Bud Light comeback very well. I'm not familiar with the Kid Rock Bud Light comeback. Peep says has 82 highlights vibes. Hey, it does. The 2025 Topps design does have the 82 Topps highlights vibes. And I kind of like that. Tea Timer is here. What's up? Good morning. Brian's in the house. Good morning. How's the new job? HPG Gaming is here. What's up? Good morning to you. John says conference tourneys should include the conference. Very cold take. I like it. I like it. I like that you got to qualify. I don't like teams that can just waltz in to the conference tournament having not won a single game and then win 3 or 4 games in their conference tournament and go to the big dance. I don't like that. Because it means the regular season means nothing. But on the other hand, I do like the fact that a team that goes, gets 4th place during the regular season still has the opportunity to make it to the NCAA tournament, in conferences like the Ohio Valley or the Summit League conferences, like the Patriot League conferences like that. Lofi Joe, good morning. Victor, the rookie card specialist, he is the inspiration behind my my topic today of hobby trends. Link to his video is in the description to this video. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. John says, Zubaz were not sweatpants in Philly, considered formal wear. Sal Dougie says, when I was 10, my parents got me some red, white, and blue Zubaz. Yeah, I don't know if I ever wanted them. Or my parents just never bought them for. I don't know. I don't remember Zubaz being. I remember them being popular, but I don't think they were popular. And I think Sal Dougie and I are about the same age. Like, I just don't remember. I'm sure my friends were wearing them. There was a kid two years ahead of me who only wore Zubaz. But he was allergic to denim. He could not wear blue jeans. So he only wore Zubaz. And of course, in the warmer months, he would wear basketball shorts. But that's when I think of Zubaz, I think of him. Merle says he would be happy to show us the pants, but he's not wearing pants. That's false. I am wearing pants. I think I've been wearing the same pants for like 10 straight days. Okay, maybe not 10. Let's hope he doesn't get up to get something out of the cabinet. John says our weight issues are institutionalized. People are sitting in classes at major universities learning how to keep you addicted to shitty food. It is. It's. I am fully in agreement with that take. There are a lot of companies that want to keep us unhealthy and eating shit to keep that cycle turning. So, you're eating a lot of sugar. Let's feed you sugar so your teeth fall out and you need root canals. Well, you got a root canal. Now you got to have a crown. And now your tooth is fourth. By the way, I have to have a crown. That's another $2,000. So this tooth has now cost me, it's going to end up being about a $4,000 tooth. Fuckers. Merle had a cheat weekend. Now I have to polish off the leftovers. So it has grown into more than a weekend. There you go. There you go. I'll be digging into some leftovers for lunch today, but we had salmon last night. So salmon and broccoli. Broccoli really makes me gassy. I am like farting up a storm after I eat broccoli. HPG Gaming. When you create your daily listings, do you push them all out to go live right away? Yes. Or do you schedule them to go live sporadically throughout the day up until your next batch the next day? No. Everything I list, unless it's an auction, all of my buy it now listings, as soon as I get them, they're uploaded immediately because I'm looking to sell and I don't need to trigger the algorithm and I'm not in, because we don't know what triggers the algorithm. None of us know. There's thoughts, well, if you have it scheduled throughout the day, I just want to list everything now and be done with it. I understand I can schedule it to go live throughout the day, but why schedule something for 5 o'clock tonight when I can list it right now at 8 a.m. and maybe it even sells before 5? I listed a batch yesterday and sold like 10 cards within 30 minutes. So no, I don't want to try to play the game of the algorithm. Everything goes live right away. I'm looking to sell cards as fast as I can sell them. So that's my take. Mark says, good morning. Nashville was a great show this past weekend, but there was not a soul walking the show on Super Bowl Sunday. That is interesting, but not surprising. So the show I was at on Sunday was absolutely jam-packed. There were times, and kind of a good thing for me, I made more money where I was at. I'm out like right at the front door, which is great. People see me first. But people tend to, there's less tables in the hallway as you walk in. So a lot of people just, I'm just going to walk into the main show area and then don't come back. But more times than not, that's not the case. I have a lot of regulars. I've been doing the show for a while. So it benefited me because it was so busy inside. How busy was it? It was so busy inside. People were coming back to my table because it was too hot. It was too jam-packed. They couldn't see other bargain boxes in the main room. So they came out, and I've got plenty of real estate out in the hallway. And they came out and spent more money with me. I had multiple people come back a second time buying more cards because they couldn't get into bargain boxes inside. Now, Nashville, I can understand why it was so slow on Sunday. It's a multiple day show. My show was a one-day Sunday only show. So for a multi-day show, especially on Super Bowl weekend, I understand why it's super slow on Sunday. Gem City Card Show says, call 1-800-CUBS-for-KIDS and donate your cards today. 1-800-CUBS-for-KIDS. CUBS, Cubs for Kids. Red Light 34 says, sorry, trying to type and run the crane. Came out wrong. A box for the card binders. Oh, I have not been back to my storage unit. So once we're supposed to get some winter weather this week, so I probably won't. It'll be a while before I get back there. But I do want to get back there. I hope it warms up soon. I'd rather get there sooner than later because I'm starting to get overwhelmed with bulk again. But next time I make it over there, because I don't know what I have, I don't know how to ship all that. So because there's if you want a bunch of them, shipping's going to be a lot. So I don't know. It'd probably be cheaper for you to drive from Indiana to come get them. Gem City Card Show says Canva, Microsoft Copilot. Ooh, I have Canva. I do have a subscription I do pay for Canva. All right. Thank you, Brian. I will look at Canva. Can we look at Canva? We can probably look at Canva together. If I'm logged in. I should be logged in. I am logged in. Okay, but I don't want to. So this was actually this was the very first logo that Grok created. So and I did put that into Canva. I was trying to, because I wanted I want to put 99centcards.com on it. But I kind of like that. It looks cheap. And that's kind of the look I'm going for. Like, I want it to look like, I kind of want to make it look like a kid created it, is basically the kind of the look I'm going for. I don't want a polished, fancy logo. I want a kid logo. Cooter, good morning. You will need to fly farther south. I am in Fort Worth on Tuesdays. All right. Well, maybe I'll fly. I'll wave. Comiskey Park, Enron Field. It's still the Astrodome. Still the Astrodome. Enron, I don't recognize Enron Field. Comiskey Park, absolutely. Bo's father is dead, Cooter. Cubs for Kids makes me think of the Cars for Kids jingle, and that's kind of the inspiration, I guess. Cubs for Kids makes me think of Drake. Victor says, how do you handle this situation? Buyer request a refund on a $5 ESE. You refund them, and a week later they come back and now want to pay you for it again because their neighbor had the card. So you can give them your PayPal. So in a situation like this, if they reach out to you via eBay messaging, now normally it's not good to give your PayPal through eBay messaging, but in this situation, it is okay. eBay representatives have said, yes, if there's language like this in the messaging, it will not get flagged and you'll be okay. As long as as long as there's no history between you and the other of trying to take a deal off eBay, you'll be okay. So you can say, here's my PayPal. Great. Thanks for the honesty. Here's my PayPal. So you can do that through eBay messaging and you'll be good to go. Gem City Card Show says they not like us. Tell Grok to steal everyone's private information. Oh, wait, already happening, Kyle Elon. Johnny M says, good morning. When Topps does the buyback program for Topps Chrome, is it just for the base Chrome cards? Yes, it is only for base. Parallels not included. So it is only for the base. No, let me walk that back. Parallels in terms of refractors, yes. Inserts are not included. So basically, if you go to the Topps website, it just type in Topps buyback program, and it will tell you and give you what everything is. Let's see if we can Topps buyback program MVP. Let's see. Here's Topps ripped. So yeah, just a Google search. So here you go. So we're going to share this tab. So this was the most recent. So base cards, $20. But base card image variations, also only $20. You might actually be able to sell these for more than $20. Refractors, $40. So that includes base refractors, logo refractors, the pinks, the prisms, the ray waves, the negatives, sepia. So those are $40. Numbered, greater than 100, you get $100. So like a purple of 250. Sonar. So all these, $100 on the buyback. By the way, the baseball buyback has expired, so these are no longer valid. And anything under 100, so greens to 99, you get a $200 buyback for those. Back-to-back stamped. So Shohei Ohtani, if you have a stamp, those are, I think, 800. Doesn't say here, but there you go. So yeah, if you Google that, and usually comes right up. Christian says, literally put that logo in a paint program and edit the black text out. Not hard. It is for me. Come on, man. I don't know how to do this shit. John says, Kid Rock walked off stage last night. Thoughts and prayers. March Madness, not March mundaneness. The regular season means nothing in all sports. Except in EPL, says Gem City. True. EPL, no playoffs. They do not. They do have a lot of tournaments, league, FA, Champions League, etc. Plenty of chances for taking down big names, which makes it exciting. Gem City Card Show agrees. I need that in NBA. Bring out the G League and the All NBA Cup. Brian says new job is okay. Now lots to learn at the beginning. Not sure how to feel about it. That is not good. That is not good. Are we gonna be having another job search soon? And he's got to go. Probably back to work. Travis, good morning. I sent you a couple logo designs on Twitter. I commented on the stream. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Oh, and I exited Twitter. All right, let's see. Oh, hey. Hey. Travis made these on Canva. Let's share this. I like that. Cubs for kids, 99-cent card. I think I like that. Let's see what the chat says. So here's vote 1 or 2. Thank you, Travis. I like this one. Cubs for kids, 99centcards.com. So just take that in for a second. It's clean and it's exactly what, it's kind of got like a kid's flavor to it, but it's clean. So that's number 1. And number 2, I like number 2, but I don't think I like number 2 as much. But I'm going to put it to vote. What does the chat think? Do you like 1 or 2? This is number 2. So this is logo number 2. And this is logo number 1. What do you think? What's the chat think? Vote 1 for this one or 2 for this one. And we're going to roll with it. We're going to roll with whichever one you vote for in the chat. So I like those. So this is number 2. One last shebang. Number 2. This is logo number 2. Just type in 2 into the chat. Or type in, for this logo, type in 1. Voting for this logo. I like it. Let's see. Gem City Card Show says Minute Maid Park was never the Astrodome. That's like calling Bush Sportsman Park. Minute Maid Park was, you're right. It wasn't. I'm an idiot. Where's John Keating? John Keating didn't remind me. You don't know baseball. Get off my lawn. Johnny M, thanks. Topps is doing it with the WWE Chrome, and I don't want to give away stuff too cheap. Yes. So I've been, I was actually looking for singles this weekend, and I guess only one dealer had it, and he was holding a bunch of, he's like, I'm not selling singles because I don't know the buyback. So my thoughts on the WWE buyback, and I have a few. Well, I've got one that I think has very good potential. Charlotte Flair. I've got a base card of Charlotte Flair. And then, no, it's not in that box. It's in one of these boxes. Not in that box. But I did hold a few. I bought 2 blasters. I held a few Charlotte Flair. There were a couple others that, I think could potentially be. The only information we have on the WWE buyback is select WrestleMania winners. So basically I'm assuming it's going to be like main eventers. Charlotte Flair is going to be in the main event. The champions, as of now, I guess. We could have new champions. So Porter's here. Good morning. Cooter says the Astrodome is still rotting in place. L1C says, what does get flagged by eBay? A seller messed up a listing description, so he reached out to refund. My response, no worries, not a problem. Shit happens. I'm officially an eBay outlaw. That shouldn't get flagged. That's not going to get. What's going to get flagged is if somebody says, hey, what's your Instagram? I want to buy this card. That's going to get flagged. Like, hey, I'll give you $20. What's your PayPal? That's going to get flagged. Doing deals off eBay is what's going to get your account flagged. Send your logo edits to me. I will do it. L1C says number 1 is awesome. So let's see. All right. So we got 1 and 2. Let's remind you. This one that's number 1. This is logo number 1. So L1C has a vote for number 1. Philly Joe votes for number 2. This is logo number 2. So we're tied. Logo number 2 on your screen right now. This is logo number 2. Philly Joe has a vote. Merle says extra seam in the baseball on number 1. Is that a vote for number 1 or is that just an observation? We're not going to put a vote down. I need clarity in the voting. Andy Mack says in number 1, that baseball is goofy. The stitching is wrong. Okay, that's another observation. So that's not a vote. Bradley says 22. Oh, so this is 2. This is 2. So we got another vote for 2. Christian is voting for number 1, which is this logo. So we're tied. It's 2-2. Tea Timer breaks the tie. He says 1 all day. We've got logo number 1 on the screen right now. Gem City Card Show says, and this is what it is right now. Number 1 overall is nice, but the C bleeds into the white of the outer circle. That's the adjustment I'd like to see. 1 but 2 style. All right, so that's not a vote either. Uncle Rich is voting for number 2. This is number 2, so we're back to a tie. It's 3-3. Victor is voting for number 1. This is logo number 1. So it's now 4-3. Orlando has a vote for number 1. It's now 5-3. Dave Arnold, 6-3. Logo number 1. Dan is voting for a non-existent number 3 logo. By the way, this is logo number 2 again. David, another vote for number 1. We're sitting on logo number 2. Tea Timer says, good job, Travis. Love Canva. Yes, I use Canva as you can probably, anybody familiar with Canva knows that many of my thumbnails, I'm using Canva. Let's see. Christian says, logo 2 has the MLB logo. Maybe you should remove that. Cooter is voting for logo number 1. This is logo number 1. So it's now 8-3 in favor of this logo on your screen right now. Merle says, get rid of the extra seam and add some blue on number 1. I don't know if you can do that. It's AI. Dad Dude from Duryea, he's voting for number 1. Jordan, what's up? Yeet. Jay Uso. Barton is here. What's up, Troy? Orlando says logo 2 is too hard to read. So this is logo number 2. And I think and for me, it's the red and the white. But, I don't know if any of that can be changed. It's AI. TD is voting for number 1. It's a runaway. It's 10-3. Bazera Collectibles. We got to vote for number 2. So it's now 10-4. Jordan voting for number 1. Go back. This is logo number 1. It's now 11-4. Unicorn Cupcake. He's going to put another vote in. 12-4. Porter is not voting. He's abstaining. Dad Dude from Duryea. Let's go back to number 2. Number 2 looks like it isn't finished getting color. Yeah, I don't know. Todd, another vote for number 1. It's now 13-4. I think number 1 is the winner. Number 1. And let's go back. That's number 2 on your screen. Here's logo number 1. Logo number 1. You're the winner. I like number 1. Number 1 was my vote. I know the stitching is off, but hey, who cares? All right. Hey, so today's topic, hobby trends. And this was inspired by a video from our friend who's in the chat, Victor, the rookie card specialist. Art Green says, neither. Both have slight problems with the design that they aren't usable. Problem with AI images. I agree they are a problem with AI images, but I don't have the time and neither, nor do I have the graphic design ability to create logos. And with AI, it's like, and these are just going to be printed on business cards to be given away. And it's not like a company logo. It's just, hey, here's a kid. The kid's probably going to throw these business cards with this logo in the trash anyway. So I'm not really concerned about stitches and all that. So thank you, Travis, by the way. I think I'll be using logo number 1, Cubs for Kids. By the way, if you're going to be in Arizona for spring training, I'll be giving out Cubs packs for kids. I'm going to try to put together at least 100 packs, and they'll be at the Club 400 tent. You don't have to come find me. You just have to come find the Club 400 tent outside of Sloan Park upon March 4th. March 4th will be the first day I'll be out there, and there you go. So, oh, this is a good idea. Why not put the logo on a sticker that goes in the pack facing outward? Sticker is... I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do a sticker instead of a business card. I like that idea. People love stickers. Yeah. So yeah. So here's what I do. Here's what I do. See, I am wearing pants. So basically, now these are not cards that I would give away, but say, Luke Little, Chase Strumpf, Preciado, these are all prospects. I like to Ian Happ. I try to do a balance of prospects and veterans like Ian Happ. And then this is my Cubs 1 million Cubs card with the logo and Team Baggett. And so that's how it works. But I like the sticker idea. Instead of a business card, a sticker with the logo. That dude from Duryea says, is Cubs for Kids used by the team? Sounds like it would be for charity or something. I don't think so. We could Google it. But I'm not making, I guess seeing the thing with doing this with my website, it becomes it's not just giving away Cubs cards, it's advertising my business. So that's where that's why I don't want to use logos. So Cubs for Kids, type it in. There is a cubsforkids.org. Cubs for Kids. It's for teddy bears. Cubs for Kids is a charity organization founded in 1998 that started out of a love of children and a love of knitting. The purpose of the organization is to allow knitters to use their craft and leftover yarn to create something that a less fortunate child would treasure forever. Cubs for Kids. That's pretty cool. So 54 minutes into the program, let's get to today's topic. And here we are at 57 minutes. Here we are. Maybe I should Cubs cards for kids. All right. Today's topic. Inspired by Victor, the rookie card specialist. He put a video out and try to find the link is in the description. There we go. Victor, the rookie card specialist. So hobby trends. And his video is YouTube sports card content in danger. And he talks about some trends that he's seeing with content creators on his own channel. And it really in my show is called Hobby Evolution. And the trends that I've seen in multiple facets of the hobby over the last almost 4 years now is massive. And I'm sure from when I started the show in 2021, 2017 to 2021, we saw massive trends changing in the hobby. And over the course of my collecting, which is why the genesis of the name Hobby Evolution was how much my collecting evolved from when I began collecting as a kid in the late 80s, taking some breaks, taking some pause, getting back into it, getting into this side of the hobby, collecting autographs through the mail, being a set collector, being a team collector, being a player collector, flipping. So many different things I did as a member of the hobby, whether as a collector or a seller. Hence the name Hobby Evolution. When Hobby Evolution began, I was just a side hustle selling cards to fund my trades, collecting Cubs cards and trying to acquire 1 million Cubs baseball cards, which turned into my business. And I came to a crossroads in 2021. So I guess the show started in 2020. And when I went full-time in October of 2021, was it 2021? Yeah, it was 2021. Holy shit, time flies. Do I rename the show? It's not a hobby anymore. It's a business. It's a business evolution. No, still a hobby. Cubs Cubs cards, still my hobby. I'm still buying Cubs for my hobby. I just do it differently. I spend more, especially now that I've acquired 1 million Cubs. I don't need bulk 88 Donruss anymore. So many changes since I've started this show on YouTube. And in watching Victor's video, I can see, and I think we all, as content creators, I hate calling myself a content creator, but it is what it is. I'm creating content. People are consuming it. And this was created because I was working from home during COVID. And I have a radio background. And I didn't have anybody to talk to besides my dog and my wife. And my wife doesn't care about baseball cards. So who am I going to talk to Who am I going to talk to about baseball cards? Actually, my coworkers didn't even care about baseball cards. I need somebody to talk to. I'll fire up the microphone and jump on YouTube and let's do it. And we had those early episodes, 12 viewers, 12 views on YouTube. And I've never been, and I actually know, there have been times where, I wanted to get to 1,000 subscribers. And I had a goal to hit 5,000 subscribers like a year ago. And then it's like, you know what? I don't put forth the effort to get more views and to get more subscribers. I literally come on every morning. I don't even have a dedicated time anymore. If I want to sleep in, I sleep in. It used to be 7 a.m. Here you are. Here I am. And there came a time where it's like, you know what? I'm not putting any effort into these videos. There's no production value. I have negative war production value. Most of the time, I don't even talk about the topic. It's just a free-for-all. There is no like, well, what is Hobby Evolution about? I mean, is it about baseball cards? Not really. I guess if there's any true, genre, it would be eBay selling, because we talk about eBay selling pretty much every day, probably every day. I guess that's what it would be. But sometimes we talk about frozen pizza or graphic design AI logos. So it's a little bit of everything. And at this point, I do it. Now, I do care about views, and more so, it's not about the views. When I go and check my statistics, it's nice getting a little bit of revenue from YouTube. I mean, it's minuscule, but it pays a couple bills, right? And that's about it. It is nice to see that number go up, but I'm really not concerned about it because it's, it's not even, it's a small blip. What I care most about is the chat, because the chat drives the show. And if a video has 75, I average, 300, what's my last 2, 3, 400 views on videos. Let's go to my YouTube number. All right. So yesterday's video had 339 views, which is, that seems like a lot. My weekend shows are usually down. 281 views on the Saturday show. Free for All Friday was 306 views. So probably 300 views. When I have an eBay thumbnail, it's usually 600 views. And I know a lot of people only tune into certain topics, and I'm the same way when I consume content. It's like, I don't really care about that topic. I'm not going to watch. But I care most about the chat, because that's why I do this. I do this to come hang out. This is my water cooler, because the rest of the day, I'm sitting by myself listening to others as I ship. And then I come back in here and I list. So this is my opportunity to talk, because I don't have anybody to talk to in my job here. But if my videos only had 50 or 75 views, but the chat was as active, if those 50, it's quality. If those 50 to 75 views are in here chatting, and creating content in the chat that we can discuss and hash out, that's all that matters to me. You know, I'm not looking at the 300. I'm looking at the quality, not the quantity of the viewership and the feedback and the back and forth that we can have. And it is interesting the trends that we've seen with YouTube. There's been a lot of card creators that came in during the COVID. A lot of people started creating content during COVID, and a lot of those are gone. And some have stuck around, some are still with us. Some have come on since and started since. And that's just, you know, it's not, you know, I tend to the COVID kids that came in, and, you know, the sneaker kids that came in, but it wasn't all about that. You know, there were some that just came back because they were nostalgic and bored, and they got their old cards out and came back into the hobby. So it is interesting to look back at the trends, not just with, you know, on that side with what we're talking about on the content, but also in the hobby side. And, you know, card shows today, and this is something completely different. I don't think Victor mentioned anything about this, but the trends with card shows are even more fascinating to me, because I started the Madison Card Show April of 2021, and 17 tables in that first show, plenty of room to walk around. And it grew to 23 tables, to 30 tables, to 35 tables, and finally hit 40 tables after several months. And this was during the absolute boom. And then it grew. And now I'm at 140 tables with 150 dealers on the waiting list. And here we are in 2025. And we're not in that same atmosphere, but card shows are even bigger than they were during the boom, where you could list anything. You could list this Jalen Hurts base Panini Contenders would have sold, you know, if this were in COVID times, and that's a $1.75 card, it's selling at $1.75, but that would have been a $5 to $10 card because it was that crazy. And back then I'm like, well, there's going to be a time where, you know, I'll probably, I got to keep growing. Now we're going to be out in the hallway. And you can go back to old Hobby Evolution episodes, and I talked out the benefits and drawbacks to putting tables out in the hallway. And now it's like a necessity. And there's 20 tables out there. And I think that first show, there might've been 6 tables in the hallway. And then it's like, well, I'm never going to go downstairs. There's the other ballrooms are downstairs. I'm not going to move downstairs. And guess what? We moved downstairs. And then guess what? We moved to a third room. And then we tried out a fourth room, and we had 200 tables over the summer months with a waiting list still. And it's only grown more and more since June, July, August. And here we are 3-4 years out of the COVID boom. And it's just unique and interesting, the different trends around this hobby that come and go. People come and go. People who were very active on social media in the card community, for whatever reason, they may get bored with it. We're all driven by different things. Some of us are driven by the money. You know, that's my business. Yes, I am driven by the money in cards. I have to be, because that's how I pay the bills. If you're not doing this full time, you're probably not driven by the money. And maybe you are as a side hustler. Maybe you're just driven by the thrill of the chase, whether it's digging through bargain boxes or ripping wax or getting into breaks. And sometimes you get bored with that. And I have ADD, and especially when it came to collector's ADD. Until the 1 Million Cubs project, I never had a focus. I would, like I mentioned before, set build, TTM collecting, autographed baseballs. Like, I was all over the place. And then it's like, and then I got bored. And it wasn't what I was collecting. It was just like, I just never paid much attention. And here I collected 1 million cards, hit my goal, and I'm still collecting cards, and I'm still logging new cards. I bought a bunch of Cubs cards Sunday, and I logged them onto Trading Card Database. I had a gift card from Christmas. I bought a bunch of minor league team sets that I didn't have. Got those logged into my collection yesterday on Trading Card Database. And so here I am, 8 years later, still enjoying the hobby of Cubs collecting. So I found Victor's video interesting in the fact that I think we all go through these times of self-reflection of why are we doing this? And I think he said it best at the beginning, where he's like, am I gonna be doing this forever? No. And I'm not gonna be doing this forever. And there's been people in the chat that were active every single day in the chat. Every single day in the chat. And we haven't heard from them in months or maybe even years. And that could be for various reasons. Maybe something I said pissed him off. Maybe I told him to fuck off, like the old guy. The old guy that I told to fuck off. And he hasn't been back. And for various reasons. Was it something I said? Was it something I did? I think for the most part, it's probably some people got jobs. Maybe a time change in South Korea. They can't stay up late enough. Jobs, timing, not interested in the hobby. People come and go. People are on social media. Like, I'm done with social media for various reasons. Could be who's running that social media platform. Could be the algorithm that keeps feeding them garbage they don't want to see. I'm done. Could be the vitriol that comes from social media. Like, I need that negativity out of my life. We come and go. Let's go to the chat. So that was I just wanted to kind of, it was inspirational in the fact that it's like, I understand where Victor's coming from and some of the things that he was saying about, is YouTube sports card content in danger? And I don't think sports card content, I think there's always going to be sports card content. But the creators are going to be different. And there's going to be people that you enjoy consuming their content that will disappear. Sometimes they'll announce their exit. Sometimes they just go from a video every day to a video every week to a video every month to just, I'm done. And you don't know why. Michael Renicky, good morning. Andy is testing. Chat wasn't working. Unicorn Cupcake says, same reason you started is the same reason I watched. Yeah. Orlando says, Hobby Evolution is just collectors hanging out. And that's the fun part for me and probably for everybody that's involved in the chat. Or I know a lot of people watch that don't chat. And that also inspires me to keep doing it. The chat is number one. Just interacting with the chat is why I keep doing this. But then also at card shows, somebody will come up to me and, hey, I watch your video every day. And it's like, oh, who are you in the chat? Oh, no, I never chat. But at least I know people are watching. And so that gives me, a little bit of a boost to like, okay, people are watching. I'm not just talking into the abyss, but we know that because we have a great chat. Hobby Evolution doesn't have to be about anything. It is. And I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. So it's, Seinfeld's a bit of an inspiration behind, well, let's just talk about the ketchup bottle. A show about nothing. The randomness is a nice start to the day, and I have picked up tons of eBay knowledge. Johnny M says, I can longer watch look what I sold or look what I bought in bargain box videos anymore. Too much of the same old, same old. You have very little of that stuff, so I can take it in small doses. Yeah, and we all have, some people love pickup videos. I don't. I do not like watching what people bought at a card show, or I don't like showing off the collection. But a lot of people do. A lot of people are like, show cards. I want to see cards. And that's not really what this channel is about. I do show off some of my card show pickups. In fact, yesterday I did some of that. But I try to do it in small doses. I think some of my very early videos, pre-Hobby Evolution, a lot of my videos were only that. Like, here's a box I bought. And I had people that loved it. And they wanted me to do more of it. But I don't even like doing those videos. And that's why I don't very often. And I get bored. That's why I don't like ripping wax on. I don't like opening boxes on video. I will, by the way, I will open my first box of Series 1. It's like an event. It's a holiday. So I will open a box, not on Hobby Evolution, but whenever they're delivered tomorrow. Cooter says, I've gained many new friends through Hobby Evolution, and I am sure others can say the same. Yeah, and it's a fun little community. And, you know, a lot of people, I took a photo at one of the Madison card shows recently where in one photo, and it wasn't like we were all together, like posing for a photo. It's just like, I noticed like Sal Dougie, there's Sal Dougie, there's East Coast Tom, there's Max, there's Michael Renicky, there's Bronco. And there was like 7 people in the same photo. It's like, I've got to get like, here's a bunch of people that are in the same photo, like all doing their own thing, either setting up as a dealer or looking through a bargain box. It was fun. Tiger727 says, watching and listening your show is a great start to the day. I've learned a lot and made more contacts, friends. If you sell or collect cards, the show is fun and interesting. Thank you. I appreciate that. Unicorn Cupcake says, if it wasn't for Hobby Evolution, none of us would know the enigma that is LRS. We truly are blessed. You are correct. Where has Low Roller Scratcher been lately? Rich Klein in the house. We have not had the sex bots for a while. We have not. We had a run there for a while that they were coming in, but it's been a while. Maybe we need to bring those back. Maybe not. Andy Mack, he's here for the sex bots. Rich says, a while back, episode 8 popped up into my feed. Go check it out to see the difference between then and now. Yeah. I'd like to go back. I worked in radio for 12 years, and my least favorite part of the job was listening to myself. I could listen to my interviews, but I hated listening to like this style. I hated my on-air checks. The morning show air checks. I hated that. My interviews, I would listen back, and I enjoyed listening back to the interviews, not to hear myself, but you know, because when you're interviewing somebody, a lot of times, like for me, it doesn't sink in because I'm often thinking about the next question or how can I, or more often, I'm listening to their answer, but not really paying attention. Like I'm listening, but I'm listening for triggers for the next question, right? So I've got kind of a layout of questions, or sometimes it's not even on the list of questions. If they bring something up, it's like, oh, bounce off of that. So like my brain is working because I've got to have this. It's not really a conversation. It's an interview, but it's also got to sound conversational. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but that's best I can put it. But I hate listening to myself. So it's one of those things where it's like, do I really want to go back to episode 1 and how episode 1, because episode 1, it's like, I'm going to do this YouTube show that I don't really know what it's about. I just want to kind of talk. It's not, because from the get-go, I said, this is not a Ernie. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. I hear Ernie downstairs. Hey, what's up? What do you have? And that's Ernie, everybody. Michael is here. Very loaded question, but what is your best way of keeping track of your costs for collections you buy and supplies? Just put down total. Yeah, it's simple, super easy. Everything goes into, in fact, I'm doing better this year. So I picked up, this was 50 cents at Walmart. And what I do is, so here's, and I've got to update my Sunday card show pickups. So on Tuesday, I paid $23.70 for bubble mailers. I think I bought more than just bubble mailers. I picked Amazon on Wednesday. Amazon labels, they don't have a price, so I got to go back. It's like $42. Friday, I had to buy a specific bubble mailer for $273 because I sold like a sign. And then Sunday, I'm going to write in Janesville card show. So spent like $1,100. So I'll type in, I'll write in various, see, I'm old school. I've got to write this down. So then at the end of the month, I'll go create my spreadsheet, my monthly spreadsheet. Here's my expenses. I spent $1,100 on, say I only spent from the Janesville card show in the month of February, my expenses, $1,100 plus my Topps case would have went in January's ledger. So, maybe that was the only, so $1,100 in expenses, and then my sales, which would have been from that plus everything prior. So there's no like easy way, and there's multiple ways to do it. That's how I do it. I just track it each, February 2025. Here's my expenses. It's all labeled into categories. This is inventory. This is supplies. This is food. This is travel, all that. And no, I do not. It is not micromanaged. So I do not put down SKUs. I did that, I think. Was I full-time? I might have been full-time. And I tried that, and it's just, there's no reason. There's no reason to track it after the fact. Like, oh, here's SKU. And I was doing like Rockford Card Show, January 23. And what's the point? I mean, really the only point to doing that is to micromanage it that far is to do content on it. Like, hey, I spent $100 at the card show, and a month later I turned it into $400. And this is what I bought, and this is what I sold. I don't see, it to be necessary to drill down a waste of time in bookkeeping. And I try to be as efficient as possible with the least amount of time spent on bookkeeping. Porter says, did he say Seinfeld's Van or Son of Sam? Yeah, dude from Duryea says, I watched this to get ideas and pass some ideas along to others. Litmus test some things. Being in PA, I learned about other regional stars in the Midwest. That's something I never even really thought of. And I think every content creator is different. We all do things differently. We're all inspired by different things. My show is basically just a selfish reason to talk about random things, sometimes hobby related. Others, there's no production value in this. I have to crowdsource for logos. Thank you, Travis. And others are into graphic design and are into video production, and they can put out fancy videos, and they're curated and scripted and all that. And it's like, I just want to sell cards. I don't want to be a YouTube. I don't want to make a bunch of money on YouTube. I mean, I would, but I don't want to put the time into making money on YouTube. My $200 a month is enough. Bradley says, I never thought Card Show would make it back with eBay and buying online. It's great they're back and makes the hobby great social thing. It's better than watching YouTube videos. Absolutely. And I thought once thing picked back up, it's like, okay, I do understand why. Just like you said, it's better than watching YouTube videos. It's going to a card show is better than buying online, but I'm old school. Like, I'd rather go to a card show and dig through a bargain box than to just go online and buy a random box. Now, do I enjoy buying random boxes on eBay or wherever every once in a while? Sure, absolutely. But there's not a comparison to an actual card show, and I think they go hand in hand. It's a nice yin and yang. Victor says, you have created something very special with your content. Thank you. Role model of how it should be done. Unfortunately, it seems scandals and $500,000 purchases is what people want. And that is unfortunate. And I try to ignore that stuff. Like the backyard breaks crap. I don't I don't want to talk about it because here's the thing about Backyard Breaks. I don't consume their content. I don't break with them. I rarely break anyway. I don't break with them. I don't watch their content. The only time I see any Backyard Break content is when it's all over Twitter from people being upset about it and talking about it. And then I see the video. It's like, well, that's gross. I'm not going to give them my business, but I didn't give them a dime anyway. So why even be worried about it? I don't want to be a gatekeeper of the hobby. Like I have zero interest in now, if there's a scammer like Todd McCown last year, I think it's close to the anniversary of his scam in our Hobby Evolution Facebook group, I'm going to call that out. But if it's something that's like not even in my sphere of influence, I have no reason to talk about, I don't want to bring up, there's some like conspiracy theory people out there. And it's like, I unfollow that because I don't like they're really reaching for a lot of the content. And it's like, why? So I do my thing and I don't care. I don't care if 7 people watch or 700 people watch or 7,000 watch. I just care about the people that are interactive. And if there were 7 people in the chat and we had a fun chat, that would be enough for me. I'm just looking for some interaction because I don't have any coworkers. So I just need somebody to talk to in the morning, and you are it. Christian says, I appreciate the perspective and daily discussion. The show is a daily must for me, either live or later in the day. So much of the other hobby content is just noise or has a hidden agenda. And sometimes, and I try, if I have an agenda, I try to spell it out. Car Dealer Pro. And really, I don't have like much of a, like I consider Ted and David and Alex, like I consider them friends. But I also really enjoy their product. Like their product has lifted my business, has 10x'd my business. I am not on their payroll. I do not get any kickbacks for Car Dealer Pro. I am still a subscriber. I spend $99 a month on my Car Dealer Pro subscription. I get some kickback. I get like $40 a month on affiliate money on the referrals. That's it. Usually in any time I talk about companies, most of the time the companies I talk about, like it's just, I think they're great. So I try not to do any hidden agendas. So when I talk about things, like I sold on Collects for a while. They gave me a free VIP subscription and that's it. $5 or $10 a month. And I tried it out and it's like Sport Lots. It's great for some people, but not for everyone. And it's not for me. Sport Lots, not for me. I think it's a great platform. It's good for a lot of people. It's not good for me. I don't think a second platform is good for me. Uncle Rich. Yes, the real star is Ernie. I think he went back upstairs. He just wanted to come down here, cause trouble. By the way, he had the Zoomies at 1:45 this morning after a full day at doggy daycare. My wife picked him up and he met his best friend is a Shih Tzu named Spaz. And it's like, how appropriate that Ernie and his best friends with a dog named Spaz, because that's exactly what Ernie is. So Ernie and Spaz are the best of friends at doggy daycare. That dude from Duryea, infomercial for Rico and Car Dealer Pro. I am now a customer of both. I hope you got paid. I got a scanner. I've got a couple scanners from Rico. And I get some affiliate kickbacks from Car Dealer Pro, but no, I'm not getting paid. Jordan says, I just had the same problem to Andy Mack about the chat, maybe. Unicorn Cupcake says, I've watched other live programs and I found it annoying when they only read comments from established YouTubers in the chat as if no one else has anything to add. This is your strong suit. And I just do what my format for reading the chat is like Jeremy Lee from Sports Cards Live. And he doesn't do as many shows as he used to, but I really enjoyed his Sports Card Live weekly interviews on Saturday nights. And it was a live interview, and he was very active reading the chat. And I thought that was very important to and I love watching live videos, but if there's no interaction with the chat, it's just kind of like, I'll watch it later. Max, just getting in, but I think I speak for most here. I am here not because you're local or a good friend, but because I can tell there is a love of cards behind the business. Yes. Thank you. I think a majority here also have that same love. It's not just about the money flip like most other content is. I understand it doesn't get the views, but this show is a vital part of my day, and I appreciate it. Well, thank you. And I appreciate we disagree on many things, but that's what makes the show fun. I mean, we can, it would be boring if we all agreed with each other. Like, if everything I said you agreed with, that would be boring, and we would be done in 10 minutes. And like, okay, have a good day. It's good that we have, we all think differently. We all have different backgrounds. We all have different likes and dislikes. But I do think we all come together for a love of the hobby. And yes, we like to make money on the hobby. And some of it, for some of us, it is how we pay the bills and make money. But at the same time, we still are hobbyists, and we do it because we love cards. We don't do it because we do love money, but cards trump the money. I think any of us that are doing this full time, we could go into the workforce and work less hours and make the same or more money than we do in cards. But I'd probably be miserable going back into the workforce. Travis says, you're welcome and glad to help. Canva and AI are awesome. I'm going to utilize this a little more because I use Canva very regularly. So I'll have to look into their AI. You being here every day, you're about the only sports card content I consume anymore. Thank you. Tiger727, I stay out of the drama in the hobby. If I wanted drama, I would watch the news and have social media. Can't deal with drama. Yeah. And that's the social media. It's like, I just don't want to, I don't care about all this. And sometimes I do. Sometimes there's drama that I do care about. But for the most part, let's just talk about what we had for dinner last night. Jordan says, Max, I come here for you and your matter-of-fact statements. Max says, I like to communicate clearly so people know where I stand. Have been told by plenty they appreciate the straightforwardness. Tiger727 says, spaz, that's funny. Unicorn Cupcake says, I come here to see what stupid things Keating has to say on a daily basis. I am never disappointed. JK. Jordan says, a year from now, I love selling on sport lots. And that's the funny thing. There's been eBay auctions suck. And 6 months later, I'm running 500 auctions a week. So that's how it rolls sometimes. Max says, if you're going to have a live show, interact. Otherwise, record it and have a better production quality. Absolutely. And see, I don't want to have better production quality. So it's important for me to interact because I just want to turn the microphone and camera on and talk. And that's where we go. The chat is where it's at. Amen. Jordan says, Jeremy Lee blocked me on IG over the weekend. Is there a badge for that? Really? How do you even get blocked on Instagram? Oh, I guess you can comment. I don't know how to Instagram very well. I am not. That's something I've been talking about for 3 years. I need to learn how to play on Instagram better. Unicorn Cupcake says, should be, LOL. I am not a fan of him. I like Jerry, and I can see why, I can see why people would not be a fan. Dad Dude says, you were not trying to pump $1,000 cards all day. You make selling a $2 card interesting. It also drives me to sell them as well. We are missing Low Roller Scratcher. He's been out of the chat for a few days. I don't know where he's been. All right. So thank you, Victor, for that. And sometimes a video like Victor's that he released yesterday, kind of gave me some introspection on, why do I come on and turn on YouTube every morning and talk? I think we all have different reasons for doing what we do. And, yours may be different Mine maybe from, I think we're all, we all have different reasons for the content we put out, when we put it out, and all that. And if it's not, and I think the thing is, if it's not fun, stop doing it. And that's like what I, if I stopped enjoying what I do, and sometimes I get sometimes I'm tired. If Ernie's up with the Zoomies at 1:45, it's like, God. And it's not that I don't want to do my show in the morning. It's that I just want to get an extra hour of sleep that I lost in the middle of the night. But if it ever stopped being fun, I think I would just stop doing it. And we're all driven by different things. And I think I'm driven by, I'm not driven by the number of subscribers or views. And at one time, I think I was. And I know I was, because I was chasing numbers. And when it comes down to it, the numbers don't matter. It's the people in the chat that matter. It's the interaction that we have. It's the friendships and relationships that are built from that foundation. And I think that's what drives me to do the show almost every day. So thank you for the chat. It was a lot of fun this morning. Max says, are we really here for card content anyways? No, and probably not. We're just here to cards. We'll talk about cards sometimes, but not very often. Porter says, this show stimulates my ADHD brain. Very relatable. Gas station pizzas are what are important here. Absolutely. And talking like at the beginning and talking about my health and weight loss journey, like, man, I'm craving a Casey's pizza, but I gotta slow it down. So Jordan says Cage said something on his live that spilled over to IG. Jeremy called him troll. I was just being funny and posted all the troll DMs Jeremy posted on his IG. Interesting. I'll go check that out. All right. So we're almost an hour and 40 in, so I've got to get going. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. No hidden agenda there. Buy 7 or more, get 25% off at checkout, 99centcards.com. My tracking updated FedEx is in possession of my top Series 1 case. Fingers crossed it gets here on time tomorrow. I'll rip the first box live at some point during the day. Whenever it's delivered, I'll just pop on, just like we do here. I'll just pop on and we'll rip into the first box of Series 1. And then everything will be posted. I'm not listing any Cubs. I'm hoarding the Cubs again. Crazy. I started listing Cubs on new product last year. It's like, this year, I'm gonna set the Cubs aside because I'm gonna take some to spring training. So everything but the Cubs. Everything but the Cubs. That'd be a great band name. Everything but the Cubs will be in my eBay store. I'm already working on a template so I can get everything listed as quickly as possible. So look out for that tomorrow, 99centcards.com. Like, subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow morning, 7:30, depending on if Ernie has the Zoomies at 1 a.m. again. All right. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.